And today what we're going to do is we're going to sign a memorandum of understanding, a 3-year agreement between the City of Albuquerque and Sandia National Laboratories to collaborate on a number of things, and we'll get into some detail on that as we get a little bit further in the press conference. But this is an opportunity for us to strengthen our existing relationship that is already, in my opinion, very strong, to provide opportunities for all of us to gain insight and expertise that will help both of us, both of our missions, and our community as a whole. Sandia National Laboratories and the City of Albuquerque share a number of common interests and opportunities. Sandia's mission is to preserve and protect national security, which has implications and applications obviously across a wide array of sectors. Each of us has a wide-ranging and complex area of research and deployment that may result in broader opportunities in such areas as energy conservation, environmental management, water resources, security and cybersecurity, advanced manufacturing, economic development, and the competitiveness of both of our enterprises, if you will, the City of Albuquerque and Sandia National Laboratories, and certainly benefiting the City of Albuquerque, the state of New Mexico, and our nation as a whole. This MOU signifies the belief that a collaborative and focused effort on specific projects and technical issues can produce more opportunities to advance each of our respective interests and enhance community security and our quality of life. This can have potential for national as well as local applications, as I said earlier, and we look forward to exploring these opportunities together. This MOU sets the framework for pursuing these various collaborative efforts. Over the years, our collaborations have been highly diversified. They include things like working with our aviation department, space rental for R&D and non-destructive testing and aircraft repair, use of our Sunport terminal as a test bed for experiments and other things that Sandia does, analysis of historical artifacts using scanning electron microscopes, our regional computer forensics lab with the Sandia National Laboratories, the FBI, and APD to help with computer forensics for solving crime. Sandia National Labs also helps with video media enhancement for crime scenes, and they also work together with APD on R&D applications for countermeasures and support our bomb squad as well. And on top of that, there's just other things that we've been able to do. I went to Paul Homer several years ago when we were looking to upgrade our ERP system, which is our large accounting system. It's a system that has some similarities, probably not as sophisticated as Sandia Labs has, but he had folks in his staff that really understood that program. City of Albuquerque, frankly, at the time, over the past number of years, hadn't really made the investments that we needed in ERP to get it where it needed to be for the citizens. The voters of Albuquerque approved $9 million for the city to make additional investments. I went to Paul and I said, listen, can we get some expertise here to help us so that we can do this right? And he did. He provided folks to help us do that. So anyway, we've got a lot of things that we can work on, not the least of which is this idea of commercialization of research and this idea of creating Albuquerque as really a center of expertise for commercialization of research from the national laboratories. We have efforts going downtown right now, but we also have tremendous efforts that have been going on for many, many years at Sandia and just outside their gate up on Eubank at the Sandia Science and Tech Park. So there's lots and lots of things that we can work on together, and I'm just very pleased that Paul would join us today to talk about the memorandum, and he can speak on it in a little bit more detail as well. But at the end of the day, I think what I want our community to know as a mayor is that we are really, really fortunate to have Sandia National Laboratories in our community, the members that work there, the work that their folks do on national security, and then being able to take that expertise and that energy and that passion that we find at Sandia National Laboratories and turn that towards a memorandum to work with the city to help us on a broad scope of issues. That's a big deal for the community and for those that we serve. So Paul, I want to thank you for being here today, and with that I will turn it over to Dr. Paul Homer from Sandia National Laboratories. Paul. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I want to thank the mayor for the kind introduction. I've valued his friendship over the last several years, and his advice about ways in which we can better collaborate between my laboratory and the city. You know, the city is, of course, home to the vast majority of my employees. This is where they live. This is where their children go to school. we have a very strong interest in this city being as successful and vibrant and realizing the full potential that Albuquerque has for all of us. And we've found the MOU that we've signed before has allowed us to bring our expertise to issues that the mayor has very effectively outlined a number of them. They're far-ranging. Some of them are more scientifically oriented. Some of them are experienced with business systems, for example, where we may have just encountered some of the challenges that they do a little bit earlier in time than the city does, and we can both prosper by dialogue between us on that. And as the mayor pointed out, one of our key missions as a Department of Energy laboratory is technology transfer, is commercialization of technology that is supported by the taxpayer, a large measure of it here in New Mexico. And I've personally been trying to be very aggressive in strengthening our efforts with that. We've had great support from the city from the very outset on the Sandia Science and Technology Park, from the initial investments some number of years ago, to even recent things that just have to do with practical use of the park and traffic control and the like. And all of those are helping to strengthen our visibility there. We are continuing to work both with the city and in our discussions with the University of New Mexico and other components of the academic environment in the state to just look to ways to maximize our movement of innovation and strengthening the economic base of New Mexico and by extension the vitality and success of the city. And I think this MOU just provides a clearly well-defined vehicle that will allow us to take that further over the next 3 years. So again, I look forward to signing it, and I look forward to the continued partnership that will be embodied by that MOU. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that partnership and friendship.
Great.
And I'll tell you, when I first became mayor, I didn't really understand the significance of MOUs. When we did our first MOU, one of my questions was, this is interesting. Why is this important? And it becomes incredibly important because it sets that framework for us to work together as two public sector entities, if you will, that work, one on the federal side, one on the local side. And so it's really imperative that we have these memorandums of understanding in place so that we have that framework and the architecture that's there to allow me to pick up the phone and call Paul and say, Paul, I've got a problem, and you've got experts. Can you help us? And when those MOUs are in place, we already have the vehicle ready to go, and it's worked a number of occasions, some of which I mentioned. Frankly, as a matter of time, I didn't even mention another whole page worth of things we've been able to work on. So we look forward to it. And Gary Opedal, my Director of Economic Development at the City of Albuquerque, is meeting regularly with Paul's staff as well to look for ways for us to commercialize more research right here at home, create jobs right here at home, on top of the great work that happens at Sandia already. So this synergy is going to be, it's just good news for the community.